but it having crooked eyes just made him not scary at all.
I thought that was creepy.
It made him look more crazed.
Yeah.
See, not to me. It just made him look like a fucking idiot. I'm never gonna be scared of a man who can't look me in the eyes.
I mean,
You don't want to look him in the eyes, though.
What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Nerd Social Hour in Texas. Today we're going to be touching remakes, jumping into all those movies that were maybe good, maybe not, and got made into something that was maybe good, but probably not. But, you know, of course, I can't do it alone. I'm here with my shitty friends.
Oh, wait, which way are we going?
We're going you, man.
Oh, shit, this is weird. Anyways, my name is Danny.
It's the Fabian, because remakes usually have the in the beginning for some reason.
You're the worst.
Okay, I'm the comic guy. Shooting on the crystal.
Well, I'm Crystal.
Okay. I'm Alex.
I'm Perkins.
You know, remake that intro. I feel like we do this
That's
1,000 times,
sorry.
and we always seem to fumble once.
It was just weird because we did a remake of like our positions, you know, so let's reboot it real quick.
I didn't even
All right, we're
realize.
going to take it back. 3, 2, 1. Hey, I'm Justin.
It's your boy D Money.
It's Fabian, the comic guy.
I'm Crystal.
I'm Alex.
And I'm Perkins, your neighborhood fucking weeb.
You make me so uncomfortable. You just stared right at me.
I feel like that remake was the better remake.
That was a
That
better
was
remake.
That was good.
Yeah,
It was
good
good.
That was a better remake.
Do y'all realize I always go, I'm Crystal? My
Yes.
brother was like, can
Yeah.
you stop? He was like, you know how weird that is? He was like, just like, I don't know, give it some character or something.
That was some flavor
Do I
on that
have the
intro,
character?
man.
I don't know.
But we're talking about remakes today, if that wasn't obvious. We've all picked some movies we want to talk about. We're going to kind of talk about the old, talk about the new, what we did like, what we didn't like, why did Fabian get a pick, all of that.
Yay.
I'm actually going to jump into yours first. That was the worst
God.
movie I have ever seen in my entire
So,
life.
guys,
So tell everyone what your movie was.
Man, let me tell you, I wasn't going to choose this movie originally. There's one notably I want to mention, the new Chainsaw Massacre. Just notable mention. If you guys have seen that one, I'm sorry. But also,
Don't
the one,
watch it.
yeah, the one I
Is it
Not
chose,
worse?
his taste. Just don't.
it might. There's like a tie right here.
I don't know if it could be worse than that
I don't
shit.
know.
No, it's not
That
worse.
was pretty.
It's
I've
funny.
seen it, but it's
Did
not.
they
it's
use
not
green
worse.
screen for
I
everything?
feel like they're
You're
still
right.
wondering what your
You're
movie
absolutely
was.
right. What is
Like,
it?
well, they are.
Jeepers,
I
mister,
chose-
can you tell us?
Can you get to the goddamn
I
point?
chose Jeepers Creepers, y'all. The new one. It's on Netflix, I believe. But it's
It doesn't
We watched it
matter.
on
Don't
Hulu.
watch
Yeah, it's on
Terrible.
Hulu.
Hulu.
It's
Not
terrible,
bad.
guys.
Very
Okay, it's on Hulu.
Don't go
Garbage.
watch it.
Don't waste your time.
It's pretty bad. I was expecting because
Saying pretty bad leaves like a level of like it could be pretty good or
It was
pretty okay.
trash.
It's
It was the
straight
fucking
up
worst movie ever.
So
beginning to
bad.
end. So
Nope.
I just wanted my friends to go through what I went through.
We did.
We
and
are
I
so happy
blame you
for it.
for it.
I didn't know we were friends.
I
Now I
love
feel all
y'all.
warm and fuzzy.
But so basically, I was on a binge a few months ago. I was watching all the Jeepers Creepers, and I was like, okay, man, I kind of remember this franchise. And coming on to, it started to drop off at some point, and you can kind of see like it switched from like an A studio to like a D studio.
Yeah.
All the
Oh my
budget's
God.
gone. Every single like actor that was like something at that time just like plummeted. They're not with this anymore, and you can see why. So. What did you guys think about this?
Oh,
What-
It
God.
was so bad.
So bad. Dude, the CGI was some of the worst shit since
They did
another
green
movie.
screen
like,
for the outdoors, and it's like just go
outside.
outside.
It's
Yeah.
funny. It reminded. Did you guys ever watch the movie? I think it's called The Room.
Yeah, I think you're
Anyways, it's like one of those situations from that, or I guess what was the one with James Franco of that movie?
The artist or something like
The
that.
Disaster Artist.
Yeah.
So in the movie, they're he's fronting the money for everything. And they're like, why are we filming this scene in a studio on a rooftop in Hollywood when we got that right here? Like, we don't need a green screen. He's like, because that's not real Hollywood movie. Like, this is real Hollywood movie. And like, it just did not work in this at all.
When
Like,
they're running to the house for like the first time trying to get there,
God.
and the backdrop almost looks comical, like it looks
It's like
it
Blue's
waves
Clues.
a little bit, and he's like doing this like stand in place run, that's going
bad.
nowhere.
he said, Blue Skidoo, we can too.
Dude, no, some of the death scenes in that movie bothered me so much because they were just they were comical. The guy that survived all the way to the end, the hick, had a gun and everything. Didn't know how to use it, by the fucking way. On the roof, surrounded by crows. You could go to fucking side, right? No. Let's go ahead and hop the fuck off the roof and die a pointless fucking death. Like, I was so mad. I was like, dude, you did so good and survived. And then died in such a
You
stupid
died
way.
because of you.
They used all their budget in the opening sequence with the old people. I'm not gonna lie, when we started watching it,
liked that
part, I was
scene,
like,
yeah.
all right, cool, like we're
Same.
going
I was like,
somewhere.
this isn't too
And
bad.
then
then
it
weird ass
just-
fucking carnival
So,
for what
like,
reason?
To start off, just to give a
What
little
reason?
little playback in case you guys are going to watch this, in case you're not.
probably
But
not
it
gonna watch
starts off like it's an old couple, and it's going exactly based off the first movie. And so that's where I was a little confused. I'm like, what the fuck? This is literally what
That ain't
happened in the
Justin
first
Long.
movie.
Well, because it's
Yeah.
a remake.
Well, I was thinking, I was like, are they really just about to do this
Like, shot for
entire
shot?
movie, shot for shot, with just old people? Like, what? Is
Shot
this
for
a
It
remake?
probably would have been better, honestly.
honestly.
But watching it, yeah, I don't know. It seems like a sci-fi film that you know when you just click on sci-fi, you would see
Like the
one of
channel?
those old cheesy.
It's like the guy
Yeah.
was trying to have like a love letter
I
to
was
like
like-
Rob Zombie's
feel like that's
style
kind
of
of
movie
insulting
making.
to
And
call it
it's-
sci-fi.
Horny.
I was like, I've seen shitty sci-fi movies and they're still better.
we
than
could
this.
remake
Like,
that movie better than they did
Well,
with
I
wonder
our current
why-
budget of $0.
They had like a chick flick girl movie fucking outfit change montage in the middle of it.
What?
When she was trying
She
to
was
The-
trying
what-
on the
oh, yeah,
cosplays.
what the-
Oh yeah, that was
yeah.
so weird.
Oh yeah, I like that.
It made it
was
even
super
worse that she
awkward.
was such a bitch about it right before. It's like, I don't
Yeah.
understand why you're trying to make me be a nerd. And then it was like, now that I'm in it, I'm in it. Like, I'm
Well,
gonna.
and also, how come he was like, you dress
Yeah,
up for
I'm
the
gonna wear this shirt.
cosplay, but I'm gonna wear this shirt.
But it was an original for the convention, duh. It was a convention exclusive
okay.
tee. No, that was not a legitimate excuse.
No,
that
yeah,
was fucking terrible.
No, my thing is, okay, you want to marry this woman in the middle of all this shit. That don't forget that bullshit.
What a mess.
We're
He did have
getting
a ring.
chased. I want to marry you, bitch. We need to get out of here and survive. Who?
And the bird said,
Whoa!
really
The
did just
guy-
like dip down on one knee in the middle of all this shit. You're like,
Guys, what if he didn't get
get
another
married. I was
chance
like,
to do that?
dude, you guys are fucking getting murdered right now.
not the time.
What?
Is this
later
what
on,
you
she's
want
like,
her
and I will marry you if we survive. I was like, bro, don't
Oh,
even
their
bring
first
it up.
fight.
Oh God, dude.
Just
They went from like being very awkward in the beginning where I was like, oh shit, they're a couple? I didn't even know. And then it was like, we're having a baby and we're getting married. I was like,
And
goddamn.
okay, immediately caught on to their American accents. I was like, they're not American. They're both of their accents.
Neither
are
one of them
so
were from
bad.
America.
Like,
the whole movie was just bad. I thought it was just bad acting and dialogue. I didn't even pay attention to that.
because it's just like a fun thing I like to do. I'm like, that
Every
seems
time
like
we watch
they're-
Oh, I
a movie,
love
she's
that.
like, wait a minute.
I'm like, that's
That-
where are they
Imposter.
from?
We're
Yeah.
so bad at that too. Like even Crystal, we were watching her movie like on the way here in the car. But it was like, who was in that movie? Let's IMDb it. So we got to stop the movie, get there, and be like,
Yeah.
well, they were in this thing and this thing and this thing.
Hell
Yeah.
yeah. I was on IMDb the whole time.
Yeah.
I hope none of them have a career after.
I gotta
that.
tell you guys, it does not get any better too. There's a few movies. I want to say there's at least 2 Jeepers Creepers movies that came out before this. Not the originals, but they're doing this thing where like, there's a fortune teller always. There's somebody that can see into the future, and it's so cliche because there was that first person in the Jeepers Creepers
one.
1, and then there was this person in Jeepers Creepers the remake. It's just so
It's like
corny.
someone
was
that- someone-
obviously
Yeah.
cheating. Like she just walked into their tent and was like, I'm gonna pull all this out of this bowl and throw it away.
Yes. Oh my god.
Didn't say a single word to anybody. Rigged the game and just was like, all right, I'm gonna walk out. now."
Whatever.
I think I was all
bitch pregnant.
just turned all the way off when I saw like the actual Jeepers Creepers. It's like, man, this is not him anymore.
Yeah.
And they made it more about his truck in the last one in part 3, which is it's just terrible. guys.
truck.
When we were talking about Jeepers Creepers with people, we were letting them know that we were watching it for this. Everybody was shitting on 2, and I don't know why.
I thought 2 was
have
good.
two.
The 2's the one with the
The
school.
first 2 are
and
good.
the
Yes,
like,
yeah.
I liked 2.
2. Me too.
It was more like it definitely had like a 2000s like teen horror feel, like the
Mm-hmm.
Faculty,
Yeah,
Jeepers
yeah.
Creepers 2. But yeah,
Which
I don't
I
know.
love.
Everybody's like after Jeepers Creepers 2, I stopped watching. Like
I told Justin.
Well, that's
this
where I
was the
stopped
only
watching
one
too.
I've seen.
That's okay, guys.
Yeah, I was like, I've never seen like the original
The
one.
original?
I've never seen. The only one I've seen is number 2, and I've seen number 2 like 10 times.
Several times.
Because it's like
I feel
it's
like
always
they-
the one that's playing. It's always the one
I
that
was
you
gonna
Yeah.
say,
watch
I
it.
feel like they used to play that on TV a lot.
Yeah,
Like there
they
was a
did.
period they played
one
2 on
was,
TV
one
a
was
lot.
more horror. I feel like more of a horror movie, where 2 was more of like that teeny bopper slasher,
Yeah.
like survive the night movie, which is definitely more like TV friendly.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
Why do you guys think they do this? Like, why do you think they remake movies that like
Nostalgia.
they
I
they
personally
know
feel
it's
like-
not gonna?
Nostalgia.
But is it nostalgia to like to make it bad? Like, why
I
did
think
they?
it's a love letter from people that are like, I like this series so much, I want to try and carve my name into it. They don't realize that, like, it's like that.
They're
tunnel
just turning
vision,
people
like,
away from it.
Yeah, no, it really should. Like, you're ruining it. But I think some people maybe are just like, I'm so set on the fact I want to do this that I don't care.
I think Perkins is on the right track too. Like a lot of times it's a cash grab because
Yeah.
they know nostalgia sells.
For sure.
And we've gotten
That's fair.
really, really big into nostalgia. Like, it is, everything is effectively having a remake or a
almost-
The
resurgence.
'90s are
Yeah.
back, baby.
That only growing as the years go on.
Yeah.
Like it's fucking
That's like-
insane
Man,
how much
you
stuff gets
Go to
remade.
There was a
Walmart now and look
period
at
of
like
time
90s
where
fashion.
there's a period of time where like what was in theater was like nothing but remakes.
Yeah.
Like there weren't
Yeah.
any new movies like recently.
I think we're gonna fall into a lot of some of y'all's movies. There's definitely you could see why they're doing like the remake or continuing the franchise just for the love of it.
Right.
Yeah.
It's movies like Planet of the Apes that you have like the one that came out in the 70s or something.
The
Who
60s.
chose
Yeah,
Planet of the
60s.
Apes?
60s.
Yeah,
60s.
which was
I just watched that today.
We actually, we just
Should we
watched it.
transition on some?
Yeah, let's go
films?
ahead and
let's do
yeah,
it.
let's
Let's
Yeah.
do it.
I have so many good words about this movie.
Crystal, tell everyone your movie.
I picked Planet of the Apes because
Which one?
you guys all pick scary movies, and I was like, let's mix it up. 'Cause but I picked the 2001 one, the one that had
Marky Mark.
Yes,
Mark
sir.
Wahlberg in it. So the original one came out in like 68,
Yeah.
68 or 69. I have not personally seen that one, but I was curious about this one because I remember watching the one that came out in 2001 and actually enjoying it. I don't remember it being awful. A lot of people apparently didn't like it to the point to where they made the original, like what, 3 movies I think it was, the original, or 3 or 4?
You're talking about
Rise
the
of
original
the
Planet of the Apes?
original
No, there's like
Oh,
there's a
man.
ton of Planet
Was
of the
it
Apes.
was it a
Yeah.
TV
Like
show?
3 or 4 of them.
I thought it was a TV show.
No,
at
it was
first.
it was a movie series.
Movie
Charlton
series, okay.
Heston was really big. He did like Ben Hur and stuff in the 60s.
Okay.
Yeah.
And he headlined that. He was the original like damn you damn dirty apes.
Get
like,
your hands
that was
off
him.
me.
Yeah.
I mean,
I like that they had that line in the movie.
Yeah.
Exactly how many there were, but
Off the
they
book.
made the one in 2001, and apparently people hated it so much that they were like, "Fuck this shit" until 2011 when they came out the ones with James Franco.
See,
Well, he was only in the first one.
I was about to say people
Yeah.
keep saying the
First
ones with James Franco, and that man only did one of them.
Yeah,
That
he
is
only
the
did-
Andy
The
Serkis
one with
trilogy.
Yeah,
that's like the very
that's-
first one that kind of kicked off all
Yeah.
I like this remake. I like the remake because it was just done well. I thought there was nothing wrong with it. It's a scary thought when you think about fucking apes taking over the world. You already seen stories where, we have this tribe of monkeys that are using tools. And I'm like, all right, y'all haven't seen Planet of the Apes, obviously. They start taking over us.
What do you think's gonna happen if you keep teaching them?
There were 5 Planet of the Apes
5?
movies originally.
Wow.
From
Okay, so that was
68 all the way to 73, there was a movie. At 68,
I was
70,
like, there's
71,
one like
72,
every year,
73.
pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah.
What I thought was really impressive from that movie. Is there an elephant in the room?
Yeah.
I got headphones on, so.
I'm so sorry.
But anyways, what I thought was really impressive was the costumes, like the makeup work in that
Yeah.
movie was it was insane.
So good.
Some of those people I completely didn't recognize.
Yeah.
The main one.
There
the-
were some though that you did definitely recognize.
Oh, yeah,
which is
there's-
cool. Like
yeah.
you knew Michael Clark Duncan was in that movie.
Yeah, for
Paul
sure.
Giamatti,
No
'cause
idea.
Yeah, Paul
his
Giamatti.
voice-
Yeah,
That's
his
You're
voice,
like,
man.
oh, yeah.
Alex didn't actually recognize the
I was like,
voice.
who's this guy?
Yeah, I was like, I heard him before I saw him.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
guy
I was
from,
like, I heard
Big
him,
Fat
oh, shit.
Liar.
I was like on IMDb trying to figure out who was who. I was like, none of them were recognizable to me.
Yeah.
Tim Ralph was in there. Tim
Yeah,
Ralph.
Tim Roth, yeah, he was in there too.
Yeah, Helena
So-
Bonham Carter, which I
yeah.
didn't know till today was the monkey that looked like Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
She looks like Janet Jackson.
I mean, they look the same. So.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Justin was giving me shit earlier because
Not a lot. Just a minute amount of shit.
because I was trying to think of Paul Giamatti's name and I couldn't think of it off the top of my head, and so I was like, shit, what movies was he like? Let me think of a movie he was in. And the very first movie that came to my mind was Big Fat Liar. And I was like, you know the guy from Big Fat Liar? And he
Oh
was
my
like, what the
gosh.
fuck? Bitch, that's disrespectful as fuck. I was like, I know, I'm sorry.
That's what you remember him from?
Those
That's
are the
what I
first
remember
things-
him
those are the
from,
first
yeah.
things that came
I
to
get
my
it though.
What else is he in?
He was in Spider-Man.
Yeah, what else
Yeah.
was he in?
He was in
He's
Shoot 'em
in a
Up.
lot of
Shoot 'em Up was such a good movie.
That was an
Such a
underrated
good
movie.
It
villain.
was so good.
Can I just say the reason that those costumes and everything looked awesome was because of Tim Burton. Tim Burton directed the shit.
Yeah, I didn't realize that. When I first watched it, like back in the day, like I
Yeah.
didn't realize it was a Tim Burton movie.
Dude, it's just one of those
And
that
then-
go
It was,
under
like,
the
normal
radar.
vibes,
Yeah.
so.
Crystal asked, like, why did people shit on it in the car? And honestly, I don't have like a legit reason. I'm not the expert on why people didn't like Planet of the Apes.
I was-
but I think what it is that it had a 5-movie span in the 60s and 70s, and old people are mad that the newer generation wanted to touch something of theirs that was insanely popular.
Boomers.
Good point.
So it got
Yeah.
buried because it's
Fucking
never going to be
boomers.
Charlton Heston, and he was also an icon in his day too.
Yeah.
So I think it just never got a fair shake until it was old enough where when the Andy Serkis trilogy came out, that people were willing to accept it because at least it wasn't the Mark Wahlberg one.
Yeah.
And that movie honestly could have been, and this is going to sound crazy, but when we were watching it, it could have been as big as Star Wars. It could have been as big as any other big sci-fi trilogy. And I'm talking about the Mark Wahlberg movie. Like,
Yeah.
it hit
I thought it was
on every
yeah, I thought it was a
level.
great movie. Honestly,
Yeah.
we were rewatching it. Like
Even the score for
past-
it, like the music.
Danny,
in it
it's
was
Danny
beautiful.
Elfman.
Yeah.
Because it's
Yeah.
Tim Burton.
Yeah.
Always working with Danny Elfman. Danny Elfman goes off on those scores.
It sucks that movie didn't get a fair shake, and
Yeah.
I really don't know why. It could have been.
I have a thought also. I wonder if like people had a hard time suspending their disbelief, which you have to do when you're watching movies.
'Cause
It's
of the
clearly
apes?
people in costumes, like you know what I mean. Like it's well done costuming.
Yeah.
But, like it's kind of comical in some ways, the way that they walk, the way that
Yeah.
they do
Yeah.
things.
Yeah, there was that
like-
scene whenever the humans were running through like people's houses and
were
those
bad.
two monkeys were about to get it, and she was like, and then she said,
Yeah.
They
Some of
did
the
do a bunch of
mannerisms
weird
were-
shit like
The
that.
Oh,
only
extra.
thing I can think is that this movie was bananas.
Oh God.
Go.
I was like, they go over the fact that they've been they've evolved over thousands of years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's been thousands of years since
because those were the monkeys that
landed.
were on the ship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And that's what started it all. So they evolved so much to the point to where it's like like they spoke English, like they but I
How
understand like
convenient.
still having some of the like
That's the same
animal
question.
like what's that like mannerisms, but at the same time like some of them were a little extra. So I was like, okay,
Well, going back
you
to
can't
that,
take that out,
it's-
but like all right, it
If
didn't really
you-
take away from anything.
If you looked at the original Star Wars trilogy specifically, because I
Yeah.
made that comparison, Ewoks acted just like that. They were
I was
silly.
thinking that too.
The droids always made really awkward, like yelping
Yeah.
noises. And there were pieces of that movie where again, it's
That was
just
good.
maybe they
Thanks.
should have changed it a little bit. Because you're right, some of it was a little outlandish.
Well,
and like,
Yeah.
honestly,
Some of it made sense. Like
yeah.
But yeah.
like you were saying, Alex, I'm glad you guys brought this up because the only thing I was trying to critique it while I was watching it, and I didn't hate it. I actually liked it. And the only thing I could think of, this was one of the movies that fell into a victim of the 2000s. Like you could see all the cheesy like little cuts where
perfect
it's the
for when it
teenagers
came out. And I
and
said that.
their
yeah.
like jackets and stuff,
Yeah.
the
Oh, yeah.
ape jackets. I'm like, this is totally like just 2000 shit, you know?
Yeah. and
Everyone
say
thought this
for
was
sure.
normal back
It
then.
fell in that weird time frame where movies were kind of extra for no reason, like Godzilla with Matthew Broderick
Yeah.
was one of those. Like it was just so over the top, but for the time period it came out, it was exactly what was needed.
Right.
really good point.
Can you believe like during that time we just didn't bat an eye? We were like, oh,
We just survived Y2K, man. We didn't
Yeah,
care.
we were
Glad to
about
be
anything.
alive.
Happy we're still here.
Computers didn't take over. We
It
were
was
letting
supposed
all
to be
happen.
Terminator Land at that point. So
Who's the character that was like the general or some shit?
that's a
That
fucking
or-
abomination.
Yeah,
I hated him.
oh my god,
like
yeah.
hated his character.
So
His-
much.
she hated, yeah.
Tim Roth does
He was like-
such a good job of playing a villain.
it was
But he
crazy.
did do a lot of extra
So I was like,
things.
so unnecessary,
I was
my
just
guy.
thinking, this man is gonna throw his shit at
His
somebody.
manipulation, though,
Something.
even at the very end, was amazing. Like when he's finally locked behind the cage and he's still like trying to get in people's heads.
Yeah.
But then you saw like a de-evolution of his character where he got scared and finally like resorted back. I was like, that's
it's because it's that
cool.
it was that alpha male that
Yeah.
you know, like kind of like in the Twilight
Yeah.
stuff.
Can I point out? They said in the beginning it was the year 2029.
Yeah, it's like 6 years we're screwed,
He was
guys.
like,
God.
it's going down. I was like, man.
That wasn't Earth though.
No, yeah, that wasn't
It was a
Earth.
different
But
planet.
also, that fucking monkey that was in there, that monkey got paid, yo. I don't know if this was like whenever those monkey
the
movies were
actor
popping
from the
off.
beginning?
Yeah.
I was like,
You
wait,
The
guys
monkey,
remember that?
the real monkey.
Yeah.
For real, he got paid?
I
He
know
has
that man got
bushels
paid.
of bananas to this day.
He's still living off that.
I don't know if he's the monkey that was in.
Residual
Do you remember
checks.
all those monkey movies where they
Like
had one like a
Dunstan and
skater
checks
monkey?
in.
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
Yeah.
Duncan. Oh man.
Dunstan.
That's
Fucking monkeys
still
were
him?
everywhere for a
I,
minute.
I,
Yeah, they
I don't
were.
know. Could we fact
Actually,
check
yeah.
that, guys? Do you know who that monkey is?
That is the same monkey that did. I don't fucking know. Yeah, you
I will say, if
IMDb
you
that monkey.
are a fan of the newer movies, I did recently see that there's supposed to be a new one coming out next year.
Another
The
one.
crazy thing about go for it.
Oh, I'm interested in new movies. But when it comes to the older movies, one thing I think they're going to bring back in the future. Now, when it comes to the old school movies, humans, we started dying because of a disease. The original movies had the actors not speaking because part of the disease took their fucking vocals.
Oh.
So they were basically going back towards being how monkeys were. You know what I'm
Gotcha.
saying? So I wonder if they're going to throw that into future movies.
Wow,
The
that's
cool
really
thing about the
interesting.
Planet of the Apes, the newer
fucking
trilogy or
reverse
newest
cartoon.
series, is that it was the most real take on how it could have all happened. It took like
Yeah.
the sci-fi, like the planet stuff away from it, and it's just like evolution of monkeys. That series made me comfortable with Woody Harrelson being Carnage because the third movie he was in it as the
He's a
villain,
dick.
and he was maniacal in that movie.
Yeah.
Damn.
Now that we got the 2000s one, we didn't have to watch the newer ones. But how do y'all like?
I like those.
I like 'em for
those.
Y'all
different-
like the newer ones?
The
Yeah.
only thing, like, if you're not diving into concept and all that story plot and stuff, you could just argue that it's like CGI versus visual effects.
Yeah.
And I love visual effects
Me
more,
too.
which is why I'm diving more into.
appreciate
I want
it.
us to get back
that.
into an age of visual effects and
Exactly.
quit leaning
Yeah.
on CGI
I'm just
so
tired
much.
of seeing CGI. I think
It's
that's
just being
affected me.
overused, and even with like
Yeah.
Ant-Man and
Makes
whatnot,
some
like there were
things,
some
like, super
things you could have
clunky.
just did a little differently and put a little
Yeah.
effort into
I
it.
always I tell this to Danny every now and then, like when we're watching movies, I'm like, yes, like movies from like the old, like before CGI was like so prominent, were like they weren't executed as well as they could have been with CGI, but like there's so much of them that seems more real because of the visual effects
Yeah.
instead of CGI.
It's funny, we could actually jump into Danny's pick based on that because I have
Yeah.
thoughts on Nightmare on Elm Street.
Okay. Yeah.
yeah.
That's a
It's
very
because of Freddy Krueger's look.
Yeah.
yeah.
And
Yes.
So,
yes.
Danny-
That's
Yeah.
one of the times we were watching that. I was like, man, this is why you appreciate the old shit.
Yeah.
he looks so much better.
I'm not
So-
trapped here with you.
So my movie was Nightmare on Elm Street, and to your point, there's the scene where Nancy or someone is sleeping, and Freddy Krueger kind of comes out of the wall.
Yeah,
and
like
he like
breathes.
does, yeah.
and-
Yeah.
In the old version, it's a practical effect, and in the new one, it's CGI.
Yeah.
When I
Man.
think the practical version of that looks
More
scarier.
real. Yeah,
Terrifying.
scary.
And I think
It
it's
looks
because they
scarier
had
than
to
it-
make them look real without the help of a computer, so the danger
Yes.
felt real, the
Yeah.
violence felt real. Like, and I get like for Freddy Krueger's person himself, they were going
Yeah.
for like the burn victim look, and he does look like an accurately
Yeah.
like
Burned
burned
person.
human.
But you already have a character that's so iconic with the way
That's
he
why it
so
was
looks.
hard
good.
for
the way
me.
Yeah.
he was.
They could have
previous.
done
Yeah.
the remake and done the same story they did and did it the same way they did. Just
So y'all
left him
didn't like the
as an
updated
original.
look on Freddy versus like the original look.
Yeah.
I almost didn't even like his character portrayal. But I will say one thing I was saying when we were watching it was I'm a little more afraid of the new one
Yeah.
because the old one was so comical. He was
And it wasn't
Funny
like
shit
forced.
sometimes.
Because I think at that point they weren't trying to make fun of themselves. I think in the
No.
later Nightmare on Elm Streets, like it does get to that point to where they're self-aware and they
Yeah.
kind of do
Little
jokes.
puns.
Yeah,
but he
and
had
it's,
more personality.
he had
It
more
did
personality.
Make him
Yeah.
more serious in the
In
newer
the
one.
new
Yeah.
one. That's why I was like,
Yeah.
"Ooh, a little bit
Jokes
scary."
aren't like there, and even when he does make jokes, like it just sounds creepy. And
Yeah.
That
gross.
movie was 2 or 3 changes away from being better than the original.
I agree.
One was character design. Like I couldn't get past it. And again,
Yeah.
it's just because I think his name's Robert England.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He just is fucking
Iconic.
great.
Yeah.
He was even in Stranger Things, actually. If
Yeah,
y'all
he
didn't
was.
know
Yeah,
that.
he was.
Yeah.
And they had some young actors too
Yeah,
in
that-
the old ones.
you had
That I mean, the new one just doesn't carry like anybody that I could really remember
Well,
off the bat.
Yeah.
Yeah, the new one does have
Rooney
someone.
Mara.
Yeah, it has
The guy that was in Huntington,
Smile.
Connecticut. He was
Oh,
in Smile.
mhm.
That guy, I don't remember his name, but he was in he was popping off at the time.
During
Like
the
he,
time?
yeah, he was like in.
He was always in scary stuff.
He was in a lot of scary movies, and
Yeah.
because you were saying like nobody popped off, I just can't
Yeah.
remember his name because I'm terrible with names. But I just know that I seen him in like a lot of
lot of
shit.
stuff.
Yeah.
following
I
that
think it's like
movie.
Kyle something, but I, could
I
be
love
mixing
those
it with
kinds of
another
actors,
actor.
though. That it's like you may not necessarily be A-listed, but
Yeah.
everybody
Knows
knows you.
your face,
Like Carl
yeah.
Urban for a while was that way. Like you
Oh,
saw
yeah.
him in Drag, you saw him in
Yeah.
Thor, all that. But then the boys popped off, and he
And
became
then
like
you will
a
learn
front man,
his
and it's probably
name.
Like, yeah, we know you.
Like, I'm
Yeah.
all for Justin Long being our Scream King.
Scream
queen,
King.
you know?
For
Yeah.
sure.
So.
First Nightmare on Elm Street was Johnny Depp's first credited film, which was really cool to see. Like
Man.
he goes from like I don't know, it was just really cool
Where
to
it was,
see
like,
him.
teeny bopper.
Yeah, like
kind
so
of.
Yeah.
he was rocking that crop top and stuff. Like
Yeah.
I don't know, it's iconic. It's an iconic look, and the way he dies in the movie is very iconic too.
Yeah.
They tried to redo it in the remake as well, but it just didn't.
Which death was that? Because I won't lie to you, it's been a long time since I'd seen the
His
original.
death was the one where he got sucked into the bed and then like
and it just-
blood
yeah.
shot
But
into the
again,
roof.
I think that's one of those things where they had to make that effect. So
Yeah.
for
It's a
as far
visual
as we're
effect,
concerned,
yeah.
that was real because they really had to do that.
Yes.
So
Time
it's
alone,
scarier.
man. Waterbeds.
Yeah.
Am I
Wow.
right?
One of the other changes I wish they had made was him being innocent. I would have loved an innocent Freddy Krueger that
Yeah.
got killed
And
by
that's
the
why he was
parents.
pissed?
That was vengeful as fuck and was like, because all
'Cause
of
it
you
makes
killed
more
me for no
sense
reason.
for why he
Yeah.
was vengeful.
But then it turned into, well, you killed me because you said I was a child molester, but it was like, but I am.
Turns
You
out
were,
it's
yeah.
true.
But it would have for
Yeah.
me made like I would have felt connected to Freddy as like a character. And be like, no, you fucking do that.
I think that's like I can see the reasoning behind it where they're like we need a reason to not like the villain, but what makes it the originals so like painful and like emotionally like it's like we were talking about with like King, like I kind of like the guy,
Yeah.
like you're like rooting for the villain because you're like you guys fucking burned him for no reason.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
you know what I mean? Like he's scary and he's murdering everybody, but like who wouldn't?
It's
Well, I mean-
justifiable violence.
he wasn't. You're saying that like he wasn't innocent in the original, and
They're-
Or
Or
the
either
newest
one?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was actually a
'Cause in
child
the-
molester or
yeah,
a
'cause
bad
in the
guy.
remake
Was
you
that in the
find all
original
pictures.
also?
Yeah.
I
Yes.
believe so.
Yeah.
But in the
it was
first
less.
one-
I think it was less insinuated in the original just because of the time.
Well, it was one of those too because
okay.
I looked it all up because I wanted to know. It was a known thing about Freddy. It wasn't that it was like a deep dark secret that they uncovered. It was
right.
just the dude was a menace.
Oh, I
and-
didn't realize that about the original.
So we are watching the remake, and there's like a point where they're like in a library, and she's like trying to do like research and shit to
Yeah.
like find the other kids, and it like mentions like the
Pied
Pied
Piper.
Piper, and
Oh,
I was
yeah.
like, oh, I've heard of that. What's that? And I just started googling, and I went on this like long spree of like all the fucking lore behind the Pied Piper. And if you guys ever get a chance, just go read that shit. Because
Oh, I know-
I
I know.
to do an episode on like myths and legends and stuff. Because
Oh, that's a
I
good
can
idea.
just
That'd be
imagine
really cool.
Crystal
The
like
whole story
slowly
behind it.
starting to read it. She starts to
it
get
was-
the
he was like, "What are you
It was-
doing?"
she
And
was-
I
Starting to
was
wear the
like,
striped
"Do you know
sweater.
that he probably drowned all those kids?"
She
like,
was
pushed them
so
in a river?"
invested. She would get through parts of the movie. And she's like, "Did you know that there's like legitimate record if you go to this town where these people
I read
don't
so
exist?" It was
much,
like,
y'all. Like,
the
I got
kids of
deep.
Hamburg or something. It was like, but there's
So
also a theory that they're just named the kids of insert
No,
town name
there's-
here, and they're
there's
not
so
actually
much.
Crystal,
kids.
are
Like,
you wearing a fedora?
like, when did you learn how to play a pan flute? Why am I getting up without? Yeah,
I can't stop dancing.
Yeah, that's
Another thing I also really liked about the original concept of Freddy was the fact that he was based off of a person that a lot of people see
Yeah.
from their sleep paralysis dreams.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, dear God, I've never
Oh,
seen
wow.
something
I like
like
the idea
that.
you
Hold
had
to
on.
believe
What kind
in
of dreams
him.
are y'all having?
I like the idea that you had to
Sleep
believe in him
Yeah.
for him to
Have you had
manifest.
sleep paralysis?
I've had sleep paralysis. I've never seen Fred. Oh,
You haven't seen
based off of Freddy Krueger. So okay, I haven't seen Freddy Krueger in my dreams.
No,
After I
well,
was, you know,
so
like, hold on.
so the
So
guy
it's
that
a good
people
thing.
see in their dreams when they have sleep paralysis, there's regular shadow people, there's tall people, and then there's the guy in a hat, and you only see like the silhouette of these things, and so the guy has the man with the hat or whatever looks like Freddy, and there's the scene when you first see Freddy in the original. and he's just a shadow figure at that point, and we don't know who he is
Stuff
yet.
like that's beautiful.
And he's like,
Oh, yeah,
and he's just
okay.
a shadow person walking, and he has like those really long
Oh yeah,
arms,
long arms.
which did look funny. That was kind of one of those moments where
was
like it
like-
probably would have looked better CGI or
Yeah.
something, you know. But
I was like, okay.
that's also still part of that sleep paralysis thing because the tall man has long appendages
I think
and
they call him
stuff.
the Hat Man or something.
The man with the hat.
Man with the hat, yeah.
But I'm talking about the tall guy also has like long arms and
right,
legs,
right,
and so
right,
that's
right.
kind of another thing that they played into
See,
from
cool
sleep
shit like
paralysis.
that I have no working knowledge of. It's
Yeah.
so neat when you find it out.
so
I'm like, oh, there's
cool.
a
Could you imagine having those kind of dreams, going to the movie theater, and then seeing that figure, and just like, especially
what
when
the
especially the first time seeing it.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of crazy too thinking about it because I've never had to deal with sleep paralysis or anything like that. But imagine being, I just have it. Imagine being one of those people. I sleep super lightly though. Like you can like breathe and I wake up.
Lucky.
But, no, I hate it.
Has everyone but Perkins had sleep paralysis?
I have.
I mean, everyone but Justin.
You're like, I've had sleep.
I don't think I have.
Yeah, I've had
You
it.
haven't?
Oh,
That's
man.
just scary.
Vivian, have
Like
you?
It is.
the
I
long
can't
person.
really
I was like, I
recall.
sleep and I just die.
Tall shadow. Like I was never able to scream when
Yeah.
it's happening.
Yeah,
I
you
remember
can't.
trying to scream, and in my head, I'm yelling, and it's getting closer and closer. My heart is going.
I've
And then
never
I
been so
break
scared.
Up, and I'm like,
Yeah.
See, that's
oh, that's scary as fuck.
that's such a crazy concept for me because even when I'm having dreams that like freak me out, I mentally wake myself up. I'm like,
Yeah.
all right, it's time to get out of
You
that.
just
And I
hear
wake
that,
up and I'm like,
welcome
all
to
right,
my
we're gonna-
world, bitch.
Yeah. See, but I was saying that, like, imagine being somebody that's had sleep paralysis, but either didn't talk about it or didn't have a name for it. And
Yeah.
going and watching a movie where it's effectively like, this man in your dreams is going to kill you.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
like, imagine the fucking just
So
trauma that some
scary.
people
Now there
had
are
for the first time
documentaries
around
on sleep
that.
paralysis. Now it's like a well-known thing
Yeah.
that people see that, but
I was like, I
back
think-
then,
We actually
they
did
were like,
an
"Oh my
episode on it.
god!"
yeah.
Didn't
Yeah, we
do
did
it?
Yeah, we
touch
did
on
talk-
it.
yeah, we
Make sure
touched
you
on
go,
it.
go watch
Yeah.
that episode, by the way.
I try not to like get too stuck on nostalgia stuff when there's remakes,
Yeah.
but I do definitely like the original Freddy's look versus the new
Robert
Freddy.
Englund, man. Robert
It was
Englund
just
did
that, like
shit.
the look of it.
But
I
yeah,
get
just
it.
like the way he's done, because they even touch on it like in further movies of the original, and they kind of update his look a little bit. And there's parts where he looks scary, and the new guy, he's kind of short too.
He is
I think
very
like
short.
so that's a little less intimidating to me. Like he's not as intimidating, but his yeah.
No, I was talking. See, I'm not pointing at Fabian.
Oh.
I'm pointing at the Doomsday Clock because the guy that played Freddy played Rorschach in
Yeah.
Watchmen.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's right. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But
My bad.
no, you're good. You're good.
It's
I just I don't know. There was a I don't know if it was fan made or what, but there was a video. I think you can still look it up on YouTube where it's like a remake of Freddy Krueger, and everyone thought this was gonna be it. The costume on that, I think, to me made me more hyped for the new one, and they didn't use any of that concept. And the face was glowing because he was still like burning.
Oh, that's
And like
Like
there's
Amber.
like ashes and stuff, and it looked sweet. Like I'm gonna see if
That's
I'm gonna try to find it. I might not find it, and hopefully it's here. I don't know. It's just like I think it was a missed opportunity to make Freddy.
It's always
badass.
sad when you see like fan art and stuff like that for stuff that's been
Yeah.
remade. And you're like, oh, this could have looked so much better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be a good way to move into it because we had a lot.
a lot to
There's
say
a lot
about
of
it.
moments where I'm like, what are we doing? We could have made this look
Alex's
different.
was it,
chose
right?
it.
Yeah.
Because
I loved it.
There's like, I know there's like a part where they had like, just it's supposed to be like just I guess like scary things, and I guess because they were getting like the whole group, they were like, let's just think of things that are weird, and it was like a worm that came out and turned into a butterfly or a caterpillar with a fucking baby face. It was like,
Oh, you're talking about when they had dinner?
At the
Yeah, I
dinner
was like,
table. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's pretty close to the original
Yeah.
though.
You know, honestly,
book,
who I would
too.
have loved
Stephen
to have
King
taken
was
a
on
stab at it, Guillermo del Toro.
Ooh.
Man.
I'd be okay with that.
Like visual effects wise, I
like
feel
as
like
a director.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was like, they were talking about replacing.
no. I feel like he
Bill
could make it
Skarsgård.
scary for me
No,
because
yeah.
his like Hellboy when he did those, they
His
looked
creatures-
great. That like the creature stuff on
Yeah.
Netflix. I feel like a lot of it, honestly, for me was visuals. Like that's what's killed me with the new It stuff. Is visually, it's either heavily CG where it just doesn't look scary. I don't have a lot to like base it off of, but it having crooked eyes just made him not scary at all.
I
ever.
thought that
I
was
think it
creepy.
made him look more crazed.
Yeah.
See, not to me.
Yeah.
It just made him look like a fucking idiot. I'm never gonna be scared of a man who can't look me in the eyes.
I mean,
You don't want to look him in the eyes though.
That shit was I liked the remake actually, except towards like maybe the end. I remember when I was younger, and I should never have watched it. It was me and my brother. We talk about this to this
Our
day.
parents
We were watching both movies. My brother had a fear of clowns for a bit. He almost punched a fucking clown at a restaurant. He was like, oh,
Get out of here, bozo.
But the original to me, when I was younger, it scared the shit out of me. Pennywise was fucking just very scary. Like a
Yeah.
concept that I didn't understand. Like, you could pull me in and kill me? I don't want to die like that. I wasn't even thinking about death at the time until I saw a clown fuck up Georgie or whatever. Just
I feel like it's another one of those effects things. Like the older
Yeah.
one, I think is scarier because the effects seem more
except the spider.
legitimate.
I don't know.
I'm gonna have to disagree on
Yeah,
that.
there's-
The old one is so like
I haven't watched it in a long time, so that was a reach.
That's the thing. So as a child, I was like, "This is fucking
Yeah.
terrifying." I was afraid of drains for the longest time.
Yeah.
Like, he was one
Still
of the four
fucking don't
horsemen
mess
who
with
haunted
drains.
my nightmares.
Yeah.
But like as like a 13-year-old, I remember watching it again for the first time ever because I legit was terrified.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
when my friends were watching it, and I was like, "Okay," and watch it, and I was like, "This shit ain't scary."
Yeah.
Watching it now, it doesn't hit as hard.
See, I wish I
anymore.
actually got the time to watch the
If you
original again.
if you compare the two,
They don't compare.
it's
no
not.
more.
Yeah, they don't compare. The new one is much scarier.
Yeah.
Okay.
But who played it?
Tim Curry.
Tim Curry.
Tim
Yeah.
Curry.
Hell yeah.
Tim
his
Curry,
performance
his
was
performance is
Dude,
in
yeah.
so good.
amazing.
Honestly, all I can say is put those special effects that we have from the new one onto the old one. You got the
There
best
you go.
movie right
Oh my
there.
God, yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
See, I could see that.
Imagine if Tim Curry were in his prime and able to be it again.
Yeah.
Oh,
There
yeah.
were just a few things that confused me about it, like in specifically part 2, because we did like a highlight of 1 because I'd seen it before and I was
Yeah,
trying
yeah.
to watch 2. I didn't really understand the necessary gay bashing in the beginning of it.
I think it's in the book.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay,
Actually,
so-
it's
I
a
hated
callback.
it too.
Yeah, I was like, why is this necessary? You
And
can
also
just
just-
show a
so
dude getting
fucking
killed.
intense.
I was like, they could have killed him any other way. Like
He had
they
the
could have
worst
made
day
it
ever.
Yeah.
like a
It was-
whole different. Like he could have
yeah.
got mugged. He could have been, I don't know, like
And then-
carjacked or something. Like it could have been any other way.
This
but they were
movie
like,
had no business being 3 hours. It could have easily been a 2-hour movie, and that's
I
because
liked
I
it.
loved
It
it.
did not.
it
Yeah.
gets to the part. Again, I'm not saying nobody can dislike this movie,
Yeah,
but it's
yeah.
my gripe with
Yeah,
it.
for sure.
For sure.
The guy goes
yeah.
on his peyote-fueled adventure and is like, you guys remember that 10 minutes in the last movie where we weren't friends? Now all of you got to go take 30 minutes apiece and get your relic. I'm like, what the fuck?
Dude, but the
And then they
dad.
did that, and everybody got such a we stopped this movie, went and got food, came back and still had an hour, and it was the most exhausting movie I've ever watched.
I
That's wild.
actually enjoyed the movie. There were just like a couple of things, but one of them was like they could have shortened some of the individual scenes
That's
Yeah.
fair.
just a little bit, so we still got the full story of like what they were individually doing, but not also.
And then the
watch
end,
3 hours
guys.
of a movie.
We're gonna talk about the end. The end.
Well,
did
Perkins
a
was saying
trope-
something about
Oh,
the
sorry.
dad.
No, you're good. No, you were into it. But I thought, the one thing
I have a lot
I
to
think,
say about this
I
one.
think the one thing this movie did really good was make some of the characters fucking creepy.
They
Top
did.
one,
Yeah.
the dad to
The
me
dad.
Yeah.
was fucking. He was
man.
this predator, and you
Yeah, he
knew it
was.
off
He was
rip, right?
terrifying. Yeah.
He was the actor that was going in because I was like, dude, you're fucking creepy. I know it's a
So
movie, but he was
Yeah.
like,
It was a well acted
doing all that
movie.
weird
Yeah, yeah.
shit, bro. It was fucking cringe,
So yeah.
and I felt it. I was like, God, you're a fucking creeper, dude.
Yeah.
And then the old lady. When she
Yeah.
fucking came out the room and did this run like fucking a deranged ass washer, I jumped. I'm watching on my phone. Oh, fuck. And I knew it was coming. But
Threw his
it scared,
phone.
made me jump because
Yeah.
it scared the shit out of me.
It
I'm
did-
like, what the fuck? Oh.
I had a few stupid jump scare moments where I'm like, damn it, I knew it was gonna happen.
Yeah,
knew it was
still,
gonna
you
happen.
know it's gonna
Yeah.
happen. Gets
Yeah.
you.
I don't remember what it was, but there was one where they jumped out of nowhere. I don't remember. It was like around a corner or something. and
That
you
may
could
have been
feel
a Nightmare on
Johnson-
Elm Street,
And I
I
was like,
think.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, and it
Was
just
Elm
jumped. And I was
Street?
like,
I was
he
like-
came to the window in Nightmare on Elm Street after her mom left, and it was like the main girl character. And you gonna
Oh,
let
yeah.
me in?
Yeah.
Like, where'd you come from?
But they did good with the jump. Like they did really good with some of the scares, the deaths in it. Pennywise, I just liked him. I
Yeah.
not disliked him. I liked him.
Yeah.
The little dance and shit. He was just creepy.
Yeah.
To me, he was really creepy, and I felt like some people disliked him for no reason. I thought he
yeah.
was creepy as
Man.
fuck. Like, okay, they did use CGI on some of the parts.
Yeah.
But his character, like, to me, I felt like he was a threat from the rip. Like, he
Yeah,
was
I agree.
creepy, and I felt like danger. That's all I could think of. Was like, you're an evil fucking
Yeah.
person.
I liked his.
Angry.
I like how, you know, he could start off like real bubbly and like clown like, and then
Yeah.
it just turns off, and you just know
Yeah.
when it's like
he's a perfect predator.
Yeah.
Bit
I was
that
gonna
girl's
say-
face
Yeah, I
off.
was gonna
That's
say
what I
when
was
he
thinking
was
about.
under the like bleachers, whatever, with that girl.
Yeah.
I was like, oh,
That was the
no,
scariest I
he's
think I
gonna
saw him in
get
that whole
her.
movie.
Yeah.
And he was
Scary.
like 1, 2, and she's like, you didn't say 3. And I was like, oh my god. Like, I knew it was
Yeah,
gonna
that
happen,
scene
but I
was
was not
crazy.
ready.
They were not holding back on killing kids in this movie.
know.
No,
by the
they
way.
didn't give
I
a
saw the
fuck.
arm. Oh, I was like, oh fuck! When did they start doing shit like this in movies?
Isn't that the premise behind it all? Was him killing specifically children?
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 Because they're more scared.
Fear.
And
They
have
get
more fear.
Yeah, exactly.
So-
Gotcha.
When he
I was
like,
actually
feeding off the
doing
shit.
some research on this too, because you know, I like that we come back to it because I've seen it so much. I'm like, this is one I could just always talk about.
Yeah.
And so hopefully we'll get more explanation because they're doing a series called Welcome to Derry.
Yeah.
And
Oh.
this is
That
supposed to be on
looks really good.
HBO Max.
Oh,
Not
yeah.
quite sure when we're going to get it because they still have to do the casting and all that.
I like the idea
But-
of series stuff.
Yeah,
for horror.
I was reading
Yeah.
into it. Stephen King is fully on board. He loves it. It's still going to be Andy and his wife. I don't know how to pronounce their last name, Muschietti or something. But both of them are on board, and this is going to explore like the origins of Derry. Hopefully, we could still get Bill Skarsgård in it, though.
Was
Some-
Andy
some
and
of
his
it-
like the directors of the new
Yes,
ones?
yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
I was
I think
like,
it's pretty awesome.
It would be cool to like
Uh,
get Pennywise, more of Pennywise. 'Cause I think he was great.
Something
yeah.
that they always touch on, but they never quite explore, is how the town knows, but they don't.
They don't know.
They
They-
Yeah.
That's what I was saying.
I said
They
It's
explained that in the
always
books.
briefly
do?
like touched on, but yeah, you're right.
It's because the town's under some kind of spell.
Under his
Yeah.
control. He's
Yeah.
powerful.
Yeah.
This is a fucking cosmic entity whose greatest enemy is the cosmic fucking
So
turtle.
we might
The
we might
cosmic
get
turtle.
something where it leads to a verse.
I would love
like
to
a,
see
like
that.
like a Stephen King.
Well, I mean, it's Stephen
movie
King verse. I mean,
but like
it's-
they're doing with HBO Max, like with the whole DC slate, I
Oh,
could see
wow.
them doing a horror slate like that too. You know,
Yeah.
like we just go deeper. But
Man, there's so many ways. When we did the Stephen King episode, I think we briefly touched on that.
Oh, right. I
Stephen
forgot we
King
haven't
is just
seen
so he's done a really cool job of like everything's connected.
Yep.
it's
Yeah.
just one of these that makes sense.
All
Unlike the one that they're doing on Amazon, which is Friday the 13th. They're doing a series on that on Amazon. I just don't think that makes any sense. I don't
I'm
think
okay
they're
with
gonna
it.
have him in there either, Jason. So
They're not.
I don't even think so.
If you don't have Jason and Friday the 13th, then
Like,
get
what are
out.
they gonna
Technically,
touch on
he
his
wasn't even the
mother?
main villain in the
Like-
first movie, though. It was the mom.
You-
So
yeah.
maybe you go
Yeah.
touch
But-
on the mom
but
and how
the
she
mom
kind
was
of had
pissed.
psychotic breaks.
But the mom was pissed because Jason died at the
Oh, okay.
campsite. So you need Jason in this movie, regardless if he's like a
Yeah.
kid.
I don't know. I just don't think it's.
We'll see
good,
what happens
but
with that.
But
I will
welcome to
say-
Derry
Excited
would be
for
good.
it.
To
Yeah,
go
I'm
back to like
excited.
the power he had on the town. They
Yeah.
kind of touched on that in the movie because they mentioned that the like Native American tribe that he goes to visit,
Yeah.
Yep.
like lived outside of the city, like far enough
I
to
did
where
not
he couldn't
connect
reach
those
him.
dots.
Yeah.
And the fact that when they all left, none of them remembered
couldn't remember.
their childhood
'Cause they
or
broke
anything
away from
because
him.
they
Yeah.
were
Okay.
because then they were like, well, why do you know everything? And he's like, because I never fucking
'Cause
left.
he never
He's
If
like,
they
left.
"I
never
Yeah.
went
like,
back, they would have not had to face
Yeah.
anything, by the way.
Yeah.
Its power is only on that town, and he only feeds where he needs to, which is that town.
They
He
made
has
a
control.
promise.
That's
They made a
fine.
promise.
blood pact.
That's so fucking dumb.
You wanted to, you wanted to talk about the ending.
Yeah.
And I actually watched this documentary that was the making of the original one.
Mm-hmm.
And in the original one, he turns into a giant spider type thing.
Horrible looking, by the way.
Yes.
That was.
I
They-
did go relook at
they
that. You
didn't
guys
like-
right
blacked
that.
it out.
They actually did not like
Trauma.
the actors, everyone involved. They did not like the ending of the movie.
Yeah.
Which was also funny because they kept touching
He
that.
makes fun of
They make fun of
himself, yeah.
it in the movie, in the new
Didn't like
movie.
the ending.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what they wanted, like looking back, they were all saying like it would have been better if they kept him as Pennywise, and I think that's why in the ending
Yeah.
he still stays
yeah.
as Pennywise,
Like
and he's still like a
character-wise.
weird,
Like shifting.
yeah, like because they were saying that.
He's an alien.
Well, yeah, he's an alien, but also they were saying that like
Stephen King and his
you know,
aliens.
even though he's the bad guy, we're invested in this particular
Yeah.
bad guy.
This visual,
the
yeah.
way he looks, the way his character is, and we're invested in him for all this time. And then when he changed into like a spider that didn't even have his face or anything,
It
like
didn't
that,
feel like him
it
anymore.
didn't feel like him, and so
I
we
get
didn't,
that.
we didn't care. And so they updated that in the new one where it was like
Like a
it was
spider
still
body.
it was a spider kind of, but it was like him.
It looked
still.
more like a
It had his
mutated version.
yeah, it had his
so-
Yeah.
face and stuff still.
See, I'm cool with all that. I think it's, again, the thing that got me about it, and admittedly, and I'll be the first one to say it, I nitpick movies I already know I'm not going to like.
Yeah.
And I did with this one tremendously.
Yeah.
And
I
it's
was
be-
defending it the whole time. I was like, no, wait, it's
so
because
there's
of
a
this.
there's a heart of the
James
cards.
McAvoy.
There's
thing
only
that
one
movies
moment that we
do,
agreed on.
and it's for when I say heart of the cards moment, it's like if you just believe it's gonna go your way. And they just reverse bullied this guy to death.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, it was such a stupid way to end the movie for me.
They're
No,
kink
it
shaming
makes
him the
stupid
whole
way to
time
end
at
the
the
movie.
It
end.
makes sense to hate that because they build up on that because he's powerful because you fear him. So
Yeah.
although it's fucking cheesy, it makes sense. I agree
Yeah.
with you. It
Yeah.
did get that. I didn't like the ending.
I wanted
was
something
like,
different, and it kind of even like Multiverse of Madness when it was Doctor Strange had a heart of the cards moment where it's like, just believe and you can do it. It's stuff like that
Yeah.
that kind of gets
Oh,
me.
yeah.
It almost feels too easy.
It does,
Yeah.
and I wanted it to be something really big because I guess to me I thought it was the end of
They
this
went
series.
through
so
so much. Like they went through so much.
Like the
Lost
dude with
all
the
of
spear?
these people, all their
Oh,
friends, like only to get to the point where they're like, we're gonna do this ritual, we're gonna fight him, we're gonna do like, and then just like, oh well, if you just believe.
And the thing that bugs me is it was like you got to show him that
Power
you're not
of thoughts
afraid of
and
him.
prayers, like
And
what the fuck?
So they're actively just trying to belittle him to get him to like shrink size.
You ain't
But then
shit,
he jumps
bitch.
at one of them and they're like, oh, so I'm like, so technically you're
Wouldn't
still
that
Yeah,
scared.
you're still scared.
Yeah, he was like, "Yo,
You're not
crusty
taking the
ass,
fear away
crusty
from
ass,
him.
bitch."
Yeah,
You look like
yo,
a
stupid
motherfucking
ass, clown looking
ass.
ass. But they were still scared. So
Yeah.
should that have worked if
Well,
they were still
I don't know if
scared?
they necessarily flinched because they were scared. I think he still had he had claws and stuff still. So
Yeah.
like he was swinging at them, so they were like dodging his hits.
I ain't never
you know?
seen anybody
I
dodge
was like,
out of
if you
not fear.
rewatch it, it does
Not
look
fear.
like when he like adds him, like he's like, oh god, like he looks like he's scared.
Yeah.
And realistically, if they're playing it that way,
Yeah.
then he shouldn't have continued to keep shriveling. He
But,
should
like,
have
you know
got
how
some type of strength back from
when
it.
Yeah.
you're watching a movie, there's like the psychological fear, and then there's the jump scares.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
So like, I've heard people, and I'm one of them sometimes. It's like this is nothing but jump scares. This isn't actually
Yeah.
scary. So like maybe that was just like a jump scare, and it's
Fair
not
enough.
actually
Yeah.
fear like psychologically. It's just like, oh
The
shit.
dude
there's
though
something
had his
coming on.
spear, and it's like if you believe it kills him, it does. And I was like, that's gonna be that. Like that's that shit. And
Yeah.
then they do that, and the dude dies for nothing because.
Dude, I thought that was so dumb that he died. I was like, so everybody makes it in. Y'all bully the dog shit out of Pennywise.
quite arguably my favorite character in that movie.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
Did he die?
absolutely.
Yeah.
He just got ganked. I was like, all right, I guess. I mean, I
From
guess
from
Pennywise
child
had
to
to get
adult,
somebody.
I love that
Richie.
character.
He was so
Eddie.
fun.
Or Eddie.
Eddie.
And then the guy committed suicide so he could bring them all together.
Stands.
But if he had the working knowledge that they were all going to go back and had to come all together, why didn't anybody else? It just
Oh, that's a
like feelings, like gut feelings that made them feel bad, but none of them remembered.
They couldn't remember everything. He told them in their letter that he had killed himself because he knew that if he showed up, he would be too scared and they wouldn't be able to defeat him because he would always be scared, so they wouldn't be united.
Maybe
Pennywise
he-
will always be strong because of that.
Yeah.
Or maybe he just held on to that fear a little bit more because
Maybe.
he was
And again,
in his
it's possible,
fucking
yeah.
face.
Yeah,
It's probably
I think
easily
that's
explainable, but
necessarily-
it's just to me,
Yeah.
I was like, but how did he know
Yeah,
that they
yeah,
did?
yeah.
Maybe he
when-
didn't.
Maybe
he
maybe he lived closer.
He almost
Yeah, I
got
was gonna say,
eaten.
maybe he didn't leave because they had his funeral there too. Like they had it on like a thing where it was
Yeah,
like
so,
they were
yeah,
buried.
yeah.
Oh, maybe.
I wonder if he didn't
Well-
leave. But his apartment was so nice though. It didn't look like
There ain't
anything
no
you'd
way
find in
anybody in
Derry.
Derry's living that lavishly. Did you see Mike? Mike was living in a basement.
Is there an Upper East
Relics.
Side of Derry?
I'll go next because I want to save your god awful piece of shit not remake for last.
Is that technically the anime dump? The last one?
Yeah, I guess so.
All right, cool. All right.
Okay.
Mine was Red Dawn. I'm not gonna lie, I picked this action movie purely based on the fact that you three picked movies I didn't want to watch. So I picked a movie I was comfortable watching.
Yeah.
And if I had thought about it more, I would have chosen A-Team. But
Oh,
It would have been good.
Wow.
Red Dawn.
Dope
I
movie.
liked Red Dawn. I've only seen the original once, but
I
don't
will say I've never
necessarily-
seen the original.
I don't understand the hype behind it. And again, I think it's one of those generational things. It's because I even
For
brought it up
sure.
to my parents. Like, yeah, we watched Red Dawn. Well, I like the original.
My
with
dad
Patrick
fucking
Swayze.
loves that movie.
Yeah, and it's an old people thing. It's
It was good.
I liked it.
I liked I have seen the original. I like the new one more.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
the older one.
But
has
is it
its hit
because the
moments.
actors are it's like modern acting and not necessarily like an old style
The
of
old
movie.
school man had cool kills. They had kind of actually really dope action
The
scenes.
new one
for the
had
time.
half of Josh and Drake.
But yeah, but it was just like
Emo
if you
Josh.
go back and watch it now, you're just like, it's alright.
yeah.
So
Hated Josh Peck's
I
character, by the way.
see we had Josh Hutcherson, like at the time, Liam, or not Liam, sorry.
Chris.
Chris Hemsworth wasn't really.
That was before. That was
Yeah, that
before
was kind of
way
pre-popularity.
Okay,
Yeah, he did good.
but they had like the heartthrobs back in the day on that movie. So
Yeah.
I was trying to like do that comparison where like, oh well, I can see it, like everyone knows Josh.
I don't. What
like-
world are we in where Josh was Chris Hemsworth's brother?
I can't remember. Like,
Man, fuck
What?
him in that
this was
movie,
like his,
though.
I
How
think
did
it was
he
like
get those
his
They got
genetic-
different
career-
moms. Different moms.
Okay.
I think during the time his career was coming back.
It
like,
was.
rather from Drake and Josh. And
Well, he lost all that weight, and I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure it was
yeah,
one of those
that was
like,
a big thing.
let's show
Just,
people
like,
that
let's
you're
do some
not
shit.
just the big guy from Drake and Josh.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, I mean,
let's
he
give
lost the
you-
weight in Drake and Josh.
Did he?
Yeah, he
yeah,
lost
he
it like
did.
towards
Like,
the
I
end of the
watched all
seasons.
of it.
Yeah, but it's like I don't know. It's crazy too because like he's also John Stamos' son, I think. John Stamos? I think this is John Stamos.
could
I'm
see
pretty
him
sure
looking like him.
in another show. And so I'm like, God damn,
He always
everyone's
gets the
like,
cool siblings and shit.
does he look better in other people's eyes than mine? Because I'm like,
He did a few moments where his acting was really awkward. Like
Yeah.
in the beginning when he asked his girlfriend to kiss him, he's like,
Yeah.
like
It's hard to get out of that Nickelodeon acting.
Yeah.
He's so
I
weird.
think
It's like,
that's
is he
the-
crying right now?
He almost
I was like, I kind of
teary-eyed.
look like it.
That's definitely the biggest problem I had with this new Red Dawn. It was just the acting and like when they did like I don't know who directed this one, but it kind of seemed like there was like Michael Bay shots where
it
they're
did
just
have
like,
a Michael Bay
God.
style to
See,
it.
but I loved some of the
I
old
like
Michael
I do
Bay
too. Like
stuff, so-
that's the thing. If
yeah,
you're
we're
for
better
it.
than the army.
if you want,
Like, get
That,
the fuck
was
out
a
of here,
plot
you're a
used
kid,
in the movie,
man.
though. Like that was on purpose that they were.
I know
they
it's
figured
just
it out.
like towards at the very end, they're like leaned up against that Hummer, and he's giving his brother's speech.
I thought that
And I'm
speech
just
was
like,
fucking corny.
The speech was like, yeah. When
sorry, bro.
Chris Hemsworth said it, it meant something. When
Yes.
Josh is saying it to these people in the army, I could just imagine
you
these
watch
kids.
That wasn't
These kids
people
in
in
the
the
army.
character
army.
be
It
a
was
more
fucking
people for their crew. It wasn't
piece of
military
shit half
people.
the movie.
Yeah.
Only to come and be like, I'm gonna lead everybody.
God,
Like,
he pissed me off
you know
in
what
that
shit
movie.
you fucked up because you were being greedy and fucking selfish? Like,
Got
fuck
that
That's
dude's
like the
brother
fucking-
killed because he had to go save his
Yeah.
girlfriend
That
who
was
wasn't in
bullshit.
immediate danger.
yeah.
It looked like the JROTC giving a speech to the army. Like, who's gonna take you seriously,
But
man?
again, you keep saying he was giving a speech to people in the army, and he wasn't. It was just townsfolk.
Okay, it was towns. I don't really. Look, I already
Right.
forgot the movie. It's out of my brain. You're calling my movie
You made
shit.
me
Your
watch
movie was
Jeepers
shit.
Creepers,
Your
okay?
movie was shit. Okay.
No, no,
He was
sir.
good. Chris Hemsworth was awesome. I was like, this dude is a badass in his movie. And he was taking the role so serious in my mind. I was like, yeah, he acts like a fucking.
You could say the role went to his head.
Oh,
He got shot.
he got shot in the head.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was so pointless that he died. I was actually mad. I was enjoying
Yeah.
everything about the movie, and then that happened. I was like, dude,
Like, they-
you're like, there's like 5 fucking minutes left, and you killed him. Why?
Damn.
Like, I was like, it's so
Yeah.
stupid.
This movie
Battled.
also didn't know when
and
to
then
end.
they were
It really did.
celebrating,
Oh, yeah,
and walked
100%
into a
did.
hallway
Yeah.
and then got shot in the head.
Like, they're having a happy
Died.
moment.
He was
and
about
he
to go
died.
get some, and just like,
Yes.
you're gonna get some.
Like, he earned it. Let him.
He
He earned this shit, bro. Cap.
We forgot to mention one of the most important things. I'm sorry, but Planet of the Apes. Mark Wahlberg got to make out with the ape and that girl at the end.
No, that
I did
ape
say
I'm
some
sorry,
shit
I just-
about that too. but
that
I
monkey
forgot.
was,
That was the
ape
most
was
important
absolutely
thing.
trying to create a new species.
From the beginning, I was like,
She's like, ho, ho, ho.
She was all about it, and at the
This one's
end,
different.
he
This one's
kissed
different.
her. And then
"Oh,
when that other
you
girl
should
showed up, that girl
stay."
kissed him, and he was like, I don't know what's happening. I gotta go. Like,
This is bananas.
get out.
P-A-N-A-N-A-S.
I really did like Red Dawn. Like, it was a really good action movie for me.
Yeah.
And it had that, just a little nice smidge of the teen, like, well, I'm trying to think, but what is it? When
I
they
don't-
were talking.
drama.
Teen drama.
I'm
Yeah,
like
there
in
we
the
go.
middle.
Nice CW effect.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was
Yeah, that's
fun.
exactly where, like, that's where I'm
CW.
at with it. It's kind of like a CW movie.
Yeah.
But it also, like I was saying, it didn't know when to end. There's so many moments where I'm like, all right, this is the end of the movie. And then they like suit back
Yeah.
up and they're like, all right, let's go. And
Gotta
then,
get
like,
back. Like when they left the mayor's son on the side of the road at the very end and they drove off, I was
Yeah.
like, this is it. That poor kid, just for them to go back to the town.
Oh
You're
my
like, damn, I wonder if he's in the back of that like group of people. Like, you
I thought that
motherfuckers
was a
left
plot
me.
hole right there
Play.
because
Yeah.
the army people flew out on a helicopter right after that. Could they have not taken him and just pulled that shit out surgically? Is what I was thinking
Or
the whole
just
time.
fly far enough away in your helicopter
Yes,
where they
like-
can't.
Yeah, they mentioned it. They were like,
It's cool if you navigate to us. You're navigating to a military base, so
You're
like,
gonna
yeah,
get fucking ganked.
come on
like-
down.
yeah, they mentioned they're like, well, can we just take it out? And they were like, with what? Like, they're like, we ain't got no tools, and they were like, sucks to suck, bitch, and just left him
Oh,
there. I was
okay,
like,
bye. I was like, oh wow,
I was like, damn, that's fucking wild.
weird. You just got on a helicopter 5 minutes later, but
Weird.
okay.
It hit every like major thing I look for in a mindless movie, and that's what it is.
Yeah.
It's one of those like I'm never gonna have to
Mindless.
worry about the plot holes in it because I don't give a shit about it.
yeah, I put it in the same level as like
fun.
the Expendables.
Yeah,
and stuff
I could
like
throw
that.
it on,
Yeah.
watch it,
Yeah.
and be comfortable knowing that it's a movie.
Yeah.
It's a movie.
It's action.
Megan was behind the whole thing.
Megan.
Megan, that bitch.
That's not what he says.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not gonna hold you guys up on Red Dawn though. Red Dawn was just a simple ass movie.
It is. It's just a straightforward
Yeah.
action movie.
Yeah, it doesn't ever
Honestly.
need another remake.
don't
Honestly,
think
it
so.
probably didn't really need.
They got
this
lucky.
One,
They got lucky. They
yeah.
got Chris Hemsworth when they got Chris Hemsworth.
They probably got him on the
Very
cheap
true.
too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
True.
The-
We'll
Yeah.
give you $3 Australian. Let's talk about your pick.
This is anime dump. Let's go.
You know what? I was okay calling it anime dump at first, but this movie is just
Anime
disrespectful.
shithole.
This
to
is
just
a
Dragon Ball Z.
anime
Let's talk about it.
sewage.
Fucking Dragon Ball Evolution. And I will
Porta
apologize
potty.
to everyone on the podcast now because I was so confident about choosing this at first.
You didn't have the worst pick, so
It wasn't
Yeah.
Honestly,
Jeepers
yeah.
I thought it was
Like-
the worst until Jeepers
This
Creepers.
movie spits on the name of Toriyama. This
I agree.
movie is so bad that it caused Toriyama to make Dragon Ball Z Battle of the Gods. He was like, I will help y'all with this movie. Please don't let Dragon Ball Evolution be the last. This movie, God, I watched it. This is the second time in my life I saw it. My wife was upset with me. She watched it.
They still aren't talking.
It's one of those movies where
Yeah,
you
Perkins, you
have
gotta move out
everything you
soon.
need.
I don't know if you knew that.
Thought all those videos with him and Fabian. That's their roommate video.
He already has his
It
parents.
was just so fucking bad. There's nothing good about it. It opens up and things are wrong. First off, Goku was supposed to, it's Dragon Ball, right? Goku's supposed to be a kid. This is some,
He's in high school and he's worried about girls and being cool. When the
Lord.
fuck has Goku ever cared about that shit?
I would have thrown all the hands. I
I was
just
so
walked in
mad.
that school and beat everybody's ass.
Yeah, for real. Who's getting
God.
picked on? You're picking on Goku?
like, Goku. I was like, there's no way in hell none of y'all in real life are messing with Goku. And he's just sitting there chilling. And when he got angry and clenched his fist, like, you're fucking corny. You're a fake lie. Get out of here. Chi-Chi
False
shows
god.
up afterwards. Chi-Chi automatically just knows about Ki. Chi-Chi's supposed to be a kid. She's supposed to be a fucking princess of...
Demon Lord Princess.
Yeah, like,
right?
Yep.
what's going on? No, she's another emotional fucking high schooler. Oh, Goku, you want to come to my party that I've never told you about before? You know? Like, what? I like you, Goku. Like, all this shit made no sense. I don't know where to even start with this fucking movie because it's so fucking bad.
The thing is,
God damn.
what year did this movie come out?
2000
That's how I was just
fucking like
looking up.
11?
10,
What's his
11?
American name?
Yeah, I think it's 2011.
Okay.
2009.
Oh, wow.
2000 okay, so it came out 2009, right?
Yeah.
Dragon Ball was out in like the 80s and 90s, right? They had years and years and years of
Definitely.
like source
How do
material.
you get a green light to make a Dragon Ball Z movie and you're like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to fuck this shit
Like
up.
I don't understand it. Like this series has already gained a fan base on the material that they already have. It's been out for decades,
Fucking ever.
and
I don't know who greenlit that after.
I don't get it. Like, what writer-
I feel like nobody
did no one proofread
related
this?
Yeah.
to anything that happened in that movie had to have ever watched
It never had a
anywhere
critic viewing,
with-
by the way.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah.
Really,
Like-
this is facts. So there's a reason it got through some cracks. No critics ever got to see it prior. The director
Wow.
of this, James
Wow.
Wong, has not made another
That
movie
is
since.
James Wan.
Not Juan.
Oh,
Wong.
Wong. James
Never
Wong
mind.
is
Wrong one.
But he has not made a movie since
Dude.
after directing this, by the way.
can you imagine how shunned he is?
I wouldn't let him
very
touch
sure.
anything.
He better live in a fucking cave at this point.
Like, I feel like the term whitewashing super applies to this movie as
That was
well,
my
too.
first ick. I was like,
not the only like
Emmy Ross,
Asian
why?
style character is
I love you
Chi-Chi.
so much.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I guess Yamcha too, but
Oh yeah, Yamcha. He's a
Yamcha.
Korean. He's a famous Korean actor, by the way. Just so y'all know.
Is he?
Yeah.
Singer.
has
He's
he
a
made
vocal-
another movie since?
No.
Yeah.
And he does in interviews. You can look it up. He hates talking about this. He does not.
Well,
I
talk
would
of
about it.
course.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
I wonder if on the like set of Shameless, if those two, because it's Bulma and Goku,
Yeah.
just get reamed all the time. Like,
I would.
I
They
yeah, I
probably,
would,
like,
Remember when we made that
roast
trash ass
themselves.
movie?
I would never let them die this down. And again, even taking that role, I feel like you as an actor have some responsibility where you read this script and you're like, yeah, this is good. Chow Yun Fat, like.
I can imagine though, like thinking of it outside of how terrible it was. Like if
Right.
I had read the script, I'd be like, this would be a cool like Disney movie. You know what I mean? Like it'd be a good movie.
Take
for,
out
like,
the Dragon Ball Z
the
part.
storyline is like it's an adventure that they go on. Like you know what I mean? Like I could see how they'd be like, oh, okay, this is like an adventure movie, like whatever. Maybe it's a kids movie, something. But the thing is, like that's not what it was supposed to be.
Yeah.
But I can see why, and maybe they didn't watch Dragon Ball beforehand. And maybe they just thought, oh, that must be what this is. Like that just must be what it is.
No, actors got told. So this movie had so much money put into it. The actors were told prior, hey, this is going to be a fucking trilogy. You can look all this up, by the way. They were told it was going to be a trilogy. So they went in thinking like, oh, this is going to be an amazing movie. Only after it was done filming did they realize how fucked they were.
They
in
were
this
already in
series.
Dragon
Never
Balls
get to
Deep.
see. Never get to see the Super Saiyan Dragon Ball Evolution Goku.
What was the worst part, in your opinion?
Dude.
Everyone just point one part out.
Overall, like, just it's so whitewashed.
It's so
That is the best
Well,
explanation.
technically, Goku's an alien, so his
man.
ethnicity could be whatever.
Yeah.
He's from a different planet.
Ooh,
But
That's a hot take. I
Yeah,
didn't
I
think
don't
about.
think-
yeah,
Yeah,
Ugh.
he is technically an alien.
don't know.
But
You guys know
Bulma,
way more
Bulma
than
is
me on
definitely
that, but
yeah.
just as far as like the whole, there's always a thing ever since the movies came out. Like we don't ever want to see that played by those people again.
Oh,
Like,
absolutely
it
not.
didn't need
Absolutely
to be
not.
set in like San Francisco Beach, California.
yeah.
It didn't need to be a bunch of surfer bros with like socially
God,
awkward
it was
Goku.
I told Justin, I was like, because obviously I haven't watched all of Dragon Ball or Dragon
Yeah.
Ball Z or anything, you know. But I told him, I was like, my biggest problem with it was just the whole fucking like high school shit. That's
what I
they
didn't
went with
like
it. 'Cause I
either.
told him, I was like, I'm not worried. I wasn't super worried about like who they got to play for
Like the
Goku or whatever,
characters, yeah.
because I said the same thing. I was like, dude, isn't he like a fucking alien? What
Yeah.
does it matter what he is? I was like, no one gives a shit. But the fact that they could have done their whole thing like in an actual village or something to kind of like
Yes.
somewhat tie it into it, I was like, why are we at school?
They didn't match anything from
Why
the
are we
actual
going to, like,
story
dances
and
except
shit?
the Kamehameha. Piccolo, fucking handsome Squidward motherfucker. Like, what did they do to my man?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Like,
Squidward.
I'm like,
Piccolo was so fucking bad. Like, laughable. So Gene was fucking laughing, bro. Like, and I'm like over here, like in my mind, like, bro, I'm so sorry. I know what you really look like. And you know,
Yeah.
it's crazy. The director was like, we want to make a more. And
They made him look
you know,
like
a
Jeepers
handsome-
Creepers.
A fucking more handsome Piccolo. Something along the word of those lines. A better looking Piccolo. More, not alien, but like
Orange
literally
Piccolo.
attractive fucking Piccolo. They fucked up.
Yeah, oh yeah, they huge fuck up. It does. I don't know. There's my main thing that I thought was the worst was the school stuff. Then like them picking on Goku and Goku just taking that shit.
The
like,
weirdo Zaru half transformations that kept happening before he went full ape were pissing me off.
Oh my god!
He'd, like,
I
it was
almost
like that meme with the kid with the vein
Yeah.
popping out of his head. It's
Yeah.
like he kept doing that. It's like he's just. Gonna
Oh
shit
my god!
himself.
Yeah, you're right.
Dude, y'all remember the driving scene CGI? Please, someone remember how bad it looked when they were driving a Jeep or something.
Well, I mean, like a lot of it was like in a weird CGI thing, so I don't think I like necessarily paid attention too much that the CGI was bad because I mean most of it was already like pretty
Bad.
bad.
They weren't
So,
trying.
yeah.
They record. Okay, so they recorded, by the way, a lot of the movie from an abandoned gene factory to save money on production.
Wow.
So all those green screen moments, they're not fucking doing anything. They're like just standing there acting like they're moving. Like, this movie should never have been made.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, and I love Emmy Rossum. Like, I'm a fan of Emmy Rossum, and I was like, she was so bad. But I want to blame it on the writing because it seemed like she really committed to the character.
She did.
But it was like, I was like, well, maybe this is like the beginning. Like, she was like, I'll take anything at this point.
Yeah.
But
I feel like that had to be part of it.
I looked up like the years though, and she did Phantom of the Opera like 5 years before this, which was a good ass movie. It like was a hit.
Yeah.
And she was amazing in it. She was like such an amazing character, and she played it really well. And I just like, it was like,
I think
Maybe
that's
she
what
just,
you
like, hit
get
a
when you
rut.
assign that kind of like. Well, it's just you could take like a good actor and put them in the shoes of some culture that they should not be a part of.
Yeah.
that's it. Probably, yeah.
Whitewashing.
It was just awful. They tried to do a lot of like the tech stuff with like floating, and the ships looked bad.
Oh god.
The fact that Piccolo had his little henchman woman that did all of his
May.
work
That was
for
supposed to
him.
be May.
Okay.
That actor didn't do any more movies ever again, by the way.
Oh my
I
god.
wrote it down.
Crazy how like
Erica
He's
a
like,
was
this
bad
movie is
movie
just
can
so
like just
good.
fuck up your career.
Fuck up your whole career.
Never again, bro. She had done shit prior to that. After this movie, never again. To this fucking day.
Lord.
That's how bad that movie fucked up her career.
I wonder if the guy that played Goku and Bulma Emirat, like, I wonder if they got Shameless before or after that movie came out. Because Shameless has been
I'd say
a series for
I
a
thought
while.
it was after.
Like
I think
Shameless-
They
Shameless
got
was
Shameless
way
after.
after. I thought.
I don't know
Yeah,
about
Shameless
what.
feels like
Is it?
not very old, right?
I know it just ended, but it went for quite a while.
Yeah, it was
didn't
it was like a few years.
Um,
But like regardless, like
Yeah,
because
2011.
they can
2011, so literally
so they probably lucked
Right
out
around
and
the
got
same time.
that movie
Wow.
probably
Woo,
they probably
shit.
if that movie would have come out first, I don't think they would have got
Oh,
that show.
it
damn.
did come out
No,
first.
in
did.
2 years.
Well, like, but I'm saying like, but they filmed stuff prior, you know, like everything
You
gets.
think it was 2 years prior though?
I don't know, maybe
I don't know either.
there's I don't know like how long
like contracted.
They
Yeah,
probably
like,
they
just
already
got
had that
lucky
show.
Yeah.
that the people who did Shameless were like, what the fuck is Dragon Ball Z?
Well, but-
Like,
No,
Or,
really.
or
Never had
probably
any
they were like, you
interest
guys
in
are
it."
just supposed to be fuck ups anyways. I don't give
Yeah.
a shit if you can act.
I mean, and like for Emmy Rossum, she could be like, "Listen, don't look at that one. Look at the
She was
Phantom of
also
the
she was also
Opera."
in the Day After Tomorrow.
And the day after
Oh my
tomorrow.
gosh.
Yeah. She's like, don't.
Oh yeah, that was her.
Yeah.
Holy shit, I love
Yeah.
that movie.
Yeah,
Like,
me
a
too.
lot
I
of people in
fucking
that movie
love
were
Day After
Uh,
famous.
Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay, there's Korean actor, the one that played Yamcha. Like I said, he was a singer. You have a famous movie actor, the one that played Master Roshi. My wife, when she saw him, she's like, "What
That
the
was Chow
fuck?"
Yun-Fat, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
what the fuck is he doing in this?
That's a
I
bulletproof
said the
monk.
same thing. I was
Day
like,
After
oh
Tomorrow
shit.
I, mean, I think it's
And then I was like,
why
oh, this is disappointing.
for the Asian actors in that movie, I think I was a little more critical because I was like, you guys knew what you were doing, and you knew
Yeah.
that you shouldn't have been like, I'm not touching that. Because I feel like whether you
Yeah.
like Dragon Ball Z or not, even the people that have never watched it know it.
Yeah.
And know even just the smallest amount about it to know that it's not a high school drama
No.
set there.
Yeah.
Play it just was bad.
One thing that pissed me off, Goku, it's canon. Oh, I didn't even kiss Chi-Chi when we had kids.
Yeah.
All right? So there was a scene in there where he has to use his fucking key
yeah,
to
yeah.
knock the fucking fire off the torches. And Chi-Chi's like, every time you knock one down, I'm going to take a step forward. They kiss.
Wait, but
But it's
that
not
was
her.
that wasn't her.
It's the bad guy.
No. There were two of them. Chi-Chi actually kissed him. And then the other one was a clone of her. That's why she slashed her with the blade in a fight to become a copy. She tore that face off right after that. Right
I can't remember which one.
I think it was the bad guy who kissed him. Though.
No fucking way was it it was not May,
I
I
think it was
promise
the
you.
clone. I think
But either way, did she go back to
No,
Goku
'cause-
or did they tell Goku that it
I
was
can't remember.
not her?
Goku saw
don't know.
think
I
it
don't
was
remember.
because the clone was the one that came out of the room, and then they were like, "What are you doing?"
Oh,
And then-
okay.
But he
Right,
wasn't
right,
even
right.
in
He wasn't
there
in
because
that
she had
room.
already
Okay,
left.
okay.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Okay, sorry,
That
I
is
got
fucking
confused. See,
hilarious.
Me too,
that's
yeah.
why Goku fucking.
Yeah, Goku openly admits that. Oh, what do you mean? What do you mean? How do you have kids? Me and Chi-Chi have never even kissed.
Goku is the worst parent of all time. Like,
Goku
he's,
is that the one from the recent like movie where he was just like studying the whole time? And
That's
his
no,
mom-
that's
Gohan.
Gohan. That's his
Gohan.
son.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
It's really weird because Gohan's kind of a piece of shit parent
Oh
too.
yeah, I was like,
Like
your
he's like
kid's
Piccolo,
yeah.
go pick up my daughter while I study. It's just the brain
Piccolo's
power
a real
opposite
Hey,
of
fucking
Goku.
it's learn attributes.
Piccolo's just teaching all the Saiyans.
Wanted to ask too, because we talk about movies that kind of like stray away from when they become remakes. They stray away from the original story, but sometimes they try to keep it. So was this following like a specific storyline?
Nope.
No.
Nothing.
Nope.
Nothing from that.
Nothing.
They
That's
just
the only
said,
reason why I
"Let's
don't
just
consider
make it."
Perkins Pick a remake, but we'll argue that later.
Yo, we started it and we only got like 10 minutes in before we were like, I don't know if we can fucking do this. And we turned it off and we like went to go like, I don't know, like run an errand or something.
But then the gold that is Jeepers Creepers
we
fell in our lap.
Jeepers
The Jeepers
Creepers.
Creepers, I legitimately was like,
Yeah.
I don't know if I can keep watching.
It
We
made
watched
Dragon
it
Ball
and it made Dragon Ball
Evolution
Z
so much
Yeah,
easier.
it made it so much better.
Because in comparison, that movie,
I was like,
Fabian, was
thank God.
horseshit.
I'm not gonna lie, I did stop watching it and I came back to it. And I was like, man,
I was like,
that sucked.
Perkins, I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of peeking at your notebook here, and I have a question and then an interesting question, follow-up question. Does that say George Lucas was considered to direct a movie?
He was considered to direct Dragon Ball Evolution in 2002. Real life shit.
Do you think he read the script and was like,
Fuck
I'm out?
no.
no thanks.
But it would have been kind of interesting though, because I wonder if he would have George Lucased it with like special effects, maybe
Ooh.
tried to change it
probably
a
wouldn't
little
have
bit.
been
Maybe.
shit.
Because even in 2002, things like CGI wasn't super dominant. Spider-Man 1 just came out, and that movie was heavily special effects.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
maybe
But I
it
mean-
could have been there. I'm not saying it would have been great, but
But
Would have
better.
looked a little
yeah.
better.
But would the looks of the movie
Change
save
it?
the movie?
No, probably
Nah,
not.
hell no.
I don't
I
think
feel
so.
like if he would have started directing it and was like,
I feel like he also.
this shit doesn't add up. He's like, who the fuck wrote this? And he would have eventually have redone some shit.
I
So
feel like
it
he would
might
have let
had,
some of those things happen.
it would have
Maybe.
had some more
Hopefully.
potential.
But
Maybe.
my follow-up question is: would you be interested in another crack at Dragon Ball live action?
Oh God,
I'm
it would
torn.
have to be like there was a rumor a
think
long
so.
time ago. Maybe I remember this rumor about Disney remaking
I
Dragon
heard that
Ball.
too.
I was open to it. I was like, okay, Disney has done really good with other shit. As long as they keep the source material and just do their little Disney flair to it, I would have been open to it because it looked like it was gonna be straight like either CGI or no, it looked live. They had a kid and everything, and it looked like Goku. It looked good. And then people, I don't think it obviously it wasn't real, but the biggest issue it would have had was people remembering Evolution.
Yeah.
The horrors.
So it's already
that
like
came with
stained the series potentially.
that. But I'd be
Well,
down for
it almost ended. It almost ended Dragon Ball Z. It's almost like Game of Thrones. We were talking about this. It's almost like Game of Thrones. Whenever like Game of Thrones was airing, it was popping off. Everyone was talking about it. Like there wasn't a person you didn't know that didn't watch Game of Thrones. Yeah. And then as soon as that last season came out, where everyone hated it, everyone stopped talking about it.
Yeah.
And that's why he created the newer seasons of Dragon Ball Z, because he didn't want that to be the end of Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, Toriyama was originally on board with this movie. He's like, a live action Dragon Ball? Sure, this is great. They did not let this man help with in any of the directing. Didn't get any info
So
from him.
stupid.
After he sees it,
Such
Yeah.
a bad move.
like, after he sees it, he's like, this can't be the end of Dragon Ball Z. And he went and helped them make Dragon Ball Z Battle of the Gods.
Which
and
kicked
now,
off Super then, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah.
which kicked off Super. So because this movie was so bad, we get more
More
Dragon
More
Silver
Ball.
Dragon Ball.
linings,
Yeah.
guys. We
One-
could have had GT as the end of Dragon Ball.
Oh,
We're
God.
also in a new era where movies can stream just on like Netflix. Like you can create
Yeah.
good content that just goes to a streaming
I'm down for
service.
series on a lot of big
Yeah.
things, and I feel
Yeah.
like Dragon Ball would have to be for me a series
Like a
because
live action.
you need.
tough to
Imagine
capture.
trying to get through
Yeah,
being a
it's
Dragon
too
Ball
much.
Z fan, like the Vegeta saga and the Namek saga, and even 2 3-hour movies. It's just there's
That's-
too much.
that's-
But if you break
Exactly
it up,
would get
what you get is what
Last
we've been getting the
Airbender.
live actions like I was gonna say Rurouni Kenshin. We already
Good.
got
Ooh,
Bleach.
boy, Ramona Kitchen
Yeah.
was one of the rare instances where they did it right. Sorry to go on a
Exactly. No,
tangent.
you're,
That one was
you're
good.
right.
They did
That's
that
exactly.
fucking right. And
Yeah.
it's so hard for them to do an anime right live action. They did that one. Mwah.
And then you got one like Bleach where they just didn't capture everything, and that's so hard to capture, just like the Dragon Ball Z.
it's just
Yeah.
the content is so vast.
Yeah,
it's hard. It's
exactly.
hard to pull all that
Condense
together.
it.
because I'm definitely like you're saying, like just from the Vegeta to the Namek and Frieza, like there's still all of Dragon Ball before that too.
There's
so
all
it's
of like the Saiyans
Ribbon
coming
on
to
them.
Earth
Yeah.
in the beginning with like
oh yeah,
Gohan
with
and
his
Piccolo and
with his
Raditz.
brother,
Like,
yeah.
And I think that's part of the reason why it may not be successful. When people think of Dragon Ball Z in your brain, you think of Super Saiyans. You think of like all the big shit. Going back, I feel like people aren't going to be as interested in Goku if Goku's not going Super Saiyan.
Yeah.
And the series isn't going to be given a fair shake if it's turned into Hollywood movies.
Yeah.
But you take 10 episodes, an hour each, make a live action series, and it covers Dragon Ball in the beginning of Z.
Yeah, and then the next
second
season
is
You build up to
I
that
can see
Super
that.
Saiyan. Like, imagine a live action Goku going Super Saiyan when Krillin gets killed by fucking Frieza.
Yeah.
That moment, the build up to that beautiful. I'm getting chills thinking about that beautiful fucking moment.
It's kind of cool.
Like, it's fucking amazing. When I was a kid seeing that, the old
It
school
was epic.
readiness. Frieza! Bitch slaps him. It was so fucking glorious.
just think about like Namek, like when he's blowing up the
Yep.
planet, and the final moment with Goku.
When I was a kid, I was like, Dad's watching cartoons. Like,
But like, I agree. In a series format, if done right, it could be fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Will we
Kid-
get it?
Probably
Who
not.
fucking
Probably
Can you
not.
imagine
Yeah.
if they're like, all right, let's put it on CW?
Oh
They are ending the Arrowverse. Let's just say fuck it and throw on
listen,
Dragon
Vampire
Ball.
Diaries
I'll be
can do
so
it,
goddamn
they can
mad.
do it.
no!
I
I'd be
thought
so
you
mad.
guys said that because I know you just kind of mentioned it a little bit, but I thought you guys said that I guess like Disney actually was working on
So
something. 'Cause didn't
it's one of those
Kevin
big
Feige
rumor
mention
things.
it
It's been
recent-
all over
but I thought
the
it was like
place.
a more recent thing that
Like
was happening.
Feige apparently, and again, I don't know.
Like,
This
shown
is
interest
just what
in
the
it.
internet tells me, and I can go on the internet and find out there's a cure for AIDS. And
There is a cure. Money.
but
take.
Not curious, just treatment.
it's been rumored that Feige, and again, I don't know where the rumor came from.
Yeah.
He wanted to step away from Marvel because he's like, it's in good hands. Favreau's going to do a lot there, and he wanted to start a new series and it be Dragon Ball because he feels like there's a lot there that could be done with.
John Favreau wants to do that? Though?
No, Feige.
Oh, Feige.
Well,
But again, I don't know if that's real or not. That could have been someone just saying it and throwing his picture on an article, and that's
blasphemy,
that.
don't do that.
Let's like manifest that right now. Just be like,
Yeah.
that shit's
Yeah.
happening.
It's like we
We're
got this
fucking
covered. That
doing
website.
it.
I don't know if y'all
Yeah.
remember that, but that website always just posted
Dear
up the
James
worst
Cameron.
rumors. None of it's
Dear
ever
James
real.
Cameron.
Just like most remakes,
where we
they
at?
overstay their welcome. We're an hour and a half, and that's a lot of content.
You said an hour and a half?
Yeah.
God
Yeah.
damn, you guys talk a lot.
I was like, I wonder if we're an hour
Shit,
yet.
though.
We
Yeah.
saw some shit movies and we had a lot of shit
Yeah,
to
we had
say
to
on
talk a
nerd
lot of
shit.
shit
To
about
say.
6 movies.
Say probably the best one must have been Red Dawn since we didn't like rag on it too much.
No, I think honestly, it was just at that point I just needed to get to Perkins' bullshit. The best of those movies was it.
Planet of
I really do feel, or Planet of the Apes.
don't know.
Those two
Oh,
are good.
Planet of
I don't
Apes,
know.
I choose
like-
out of Planet of Apes and fucking Red Dawn.
Let's vote. Which was the best one?
Planet of Apes is the one I go for.
Yeah, Planet of the Apes.
I'm gonna say it.
My hands are like this. I don't. It Planet of the Apes.
Okay, so
Fabian
it.
always drags things out.
Yeah, man, like-
yeah, just make a decision.
Sorry, I'm real.
It's middle
I
of
don't
the
Which
road.
one?
I don't know what to
right
choose.
there.
Go ahead. You gotta-
I got Planet of the Apes.
All right, so between it and Planet of the Apes, I'm okay with
Okay.
that.
Yeah,
I'm fine with
honestly,
that.
yeah, those are not bad.
But
Yeah.
that brings us to a close. We appreciate you guys being here. Check out our nifty shirts. If you see us and want a sticker or a
That's
card,
why
you
we're
know,
in
we can help you
uniform.
find one.
Gang, gang.
But you know where to find us on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Nerd Social Hour, Nerd
Find
Social
it.
Hour in Texas. Thank you for watching and goodbye.
Peace.
Bye.
Bye.